Fun time with DissiNotRA. BeatMakers 101. What's up, everyone? Pow, 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 pow. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today, live looping with reason. How to create and prepare your rack, and how to map your archive or any type of controller to the functions in your reason. Basically, how to prepare a file that you can just open at any point in time to do live looping on the go with reason. First of all, I wanted to say that I'm really positively overwhelmed with the reactions that I have gotten to the last BeatMakers 101 video. All the comments and messages, I appreciate it so much. And as this video is an immediate response to your comments, guys, I will keep reading and responding to every single one of them. And I will keep the videos going that you request. So if you have any questions about anything that's going on in the following, as usual, let me know in the comments below. Also, Reason themselves has had an amazing idea for you guys, which is to post a link to the file that I'm now going to show you how to create below the video so that you can just download that too. Oh, and by the way, guys, please go and check the link below to my merch that I created with all sweat and blood for you. As you know, guys, every single purchase keeps this channel here alive, so I would so appreciate it, guys, if you go check it out and share it with your friends. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so first of all, wherever you are in Reason, you want to open a new file right here. New. So in Reason 10, this is how it looks once you open a new file. And we obviously don't want to leave it like that, especially if we want to go live. So the first thing you want to do is to save this file as whatever you want to call it into whatever location you want to put it in, okay? Then you click save. Now, first thing I like doing is to get rid of the browser here. Then I want to separate the rack window from my sequencer window right here. Now, we have a couple of effects here that we don't want to have, so we're gonna delete everything since we're gonna custom make our own rack. Just click the delete button on your keyboard or right click like this and find delete devices and tracks. Just keep doing this until you hit the master section. Do not delete this one. So first things first, you want to create a mixer that everything goes into, okay? Utilities, line mixer 14.2. If you hit the tab button on your keyboard, you will find that you come out on the back of your rack, okay? So this is like in real life where you would have the mixer really like that analog in front of your eyes. Now first you just want to leave it as it is. But your goal is to connect all the following instruments that you're going to use into this mixer here. This is why you also want to pay attention right now to what controller you have, basically how many knots you have that you can route all of these buttons to. Now first thing I like to do is I want to have something that I can create my beat with. So I want to have a track over here in the sequencer that I can lay some hi-hats on that I can play over later on. Because if you do live looping, you don't want to have the click so loud that people hear it like. So it's better to prepare some hi-hat patterns, which basically also explains why I'm going to open at least 3 drum patterns, okay? So we are going to open 3 for now. Back to the rack, right click open, create instrument. I'm gonna start with the Kong drum designer. Just pull it over. Close the browser here again so it's out of the way. As you can see, if I go on the back of the rack, the output here is automatically connected to number 1 here on the mixer, which is great. So you don't have to do nothing over here. So here we come to the first thing. I basically designed my own Kong kits here. Okay, you can rename them and lay all of the drum sounds that you specifically want to all of these single pads here in the Kong drum designer. Now how you're gonna do this is another video again. If somebody wants to know, let me know in the comments below. I am planning on making a video about this. So I already custom designed my own Kong kits here. So if you hover with the mouse over anything here, it will tell you what it basically is, okay? If I go over this, it says browse patch or save patch, right? So I'm gonna browse for my own patch that I designed, okay? So what happens is that the browser window opens again. Now I click here because I connected it this way, but you can also click here and then navigate to wherever you want to go, okay? So I'm loading one here right now. With double click, it's gonna go in here. Now as you can see, On the left are all my kicks. In the middle are all my snares, and on the right are all my hi-hats. You have to figure out how many of these pads you have and basically route them to your specific controller. Now, as I said, I'm going to do this 2 more times, so I have 3 different drum tracks that I can work with in my live looping set. Also, all of the devices here have like a little tiny arrow here. If you click that, it's going to minimize the instruments, effects and mixers into these little tiny sections here, which is awesome. Makes everything way better to control while live looping. It gives you a way better overview. So I'm going to open 2 more of these Kong drum designers and then I'm back. Now you're going to notice that every little instrument or anything you open here is going to have its own little mixer above it. I want to delete these actually. And the reason why is because for my live set I don't have to have so much mixing options. Here you have like a little tiny EQ window, which is very great. If you want to know how to use this, let me know in the comments below. But the reason why I don't use this is because here we have a little tiny bit of things that we can use. We have a treble and a bass that we can play with in the mixer itself. So I do not need to do as much right now, especially for my live looping set. So now I'm going to delete these. Don't delete the group, delete the selected one only. Again. Now switch this thing around and see what's going on here. These ones are not connected. Go to number 2. Go to number 3. Now, my mixer window I always want to keep extended so I can see what's going on. Now just for the sake of it, let's create a hi-hat pattern here real quick on our first track. Always don't forget to save. Again, with C we can turn on the click. Select your loop region here. Don't forget to click the loop button. Select your tempo. I am going to select 94 and I'm just going to lay down a simple hi-hat pattern real quick. Okay, so we have our simple hi-hat pattern, so this is out of the way. Like I said in the other video, I prepare more and lay them down here on the side so that I have variations when I'm switching over to a new song. This way I can start over with a whole new feeling and a whole new hi-hat pattern. Now I want to have at least 1 or 2 bass tracks here, okay? Now again, it depends on how many knobs or controllers you have on your controlling device. I have kind of a lot, that's why I can do 2 bass lines. If you don't have so much, then just do 1. For this video and for this specific file, we're just going to use 1 bass line. Again, create instrument, and what I love using for the bass line, because it has already amazing sounds, is the Thor Polysonic synthesizer. Again, close the browser. Again, I'm going to delete this little mixer here. Turn around. You want to find your outputs and connect them here to your mixer. Next one would be track 4. It automatically does both. Now you can always check if you did it right. If you look here on your mixer and you play your instrument, which you do when you select it here or here, and it comes out here. So I'm going to browse real quick for a really cool bass line. It will end up being automatically in Thor patches right away, so I just click on bass. I'm going to use this one here, Beneath the Remains. Sounds good. You can change it around later on. Close the browser patch. Minimize this. As I said in the other video, I have these 2 controllers here that jump here from track to track, which makes it easy to do live looping without having to touch my computer. I have on my control bank 2. I can switch within the instrument, as you can see, changing the sounds itself. But the knobs and their functions obviously depend on the controller that you are using. Next, what I like doing is using my own samples that I create. Again, this is a completely other video, how you create your own samples. Again, if you want me to show you how to do that, let me know in the comments below. And what I like using is the NN19 digital sampler right here. Again, delete the little mixer, turn around, find your output, connect it here, 5 would be next, switch back around. Now why I like using this is because I can directly sample into here using this little button here. This is a completely other video if you want to know about that. How to get your audio set up so it connects into here and so on and so on. Now again, like with the drum kits, I with the years collected and created so many samples. I am just gonna load a random one right now that I can find for the sake of this video. but you are going to want to use your own ones. Okay, so I found a random sample right here. Now you probably get the gist of it. So you want to open as many instruments that you want, right? I'm just going to open a couple more. We want to have maybe 1 or 2 more synthesizers and come back to you when opening the audio track. Now as you can see, I created 2 more. I used the subtractor for effects, meaning I went in the effects folder and just randomly chose this one here. So Reason comes with the sounds, you can just choose whichever one you want. And I went to create the NNXT. Now, if you are looping voice like me, you probably want to open more than just 1 track. I'm going to open 2 for this file now. Like I said in the other video, route the audio tracks into a little tiny mixer that we are going to create so that we come out here in 1 track. Right click again, create audio track. Now again, how to connect your microphone with Reason and how you can record into this here right away is another video again. But for now we have to assume that you know how that works. So we do this twice. Now I need the mixer, again utilities. This time we are going to use the line mixer 6.2. It's a little one. We are going to move this one up here, turn around, extend our audio tracks. This time we are going to take the output of our audio track and move it into our little mixer here, okay? First one and second one. Because our little mixer here, the output is going into this little mixer here. We don't want that. We are going to again delete this one like in all of the other ones. We just see it from the back this time. Now this output here we want to connect to our mixer again. Boom. I think slowly you get it, guys. Now we have our audio tracks, and again with our record button function we can start recording audio or whatever instrument at any point in time in our live performance. So I went ahead and plugged in the microphone real quick. As you can see here, we have level here, meaning if I do live looping it would be like this. Hey, 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 hey. As you can see, very easy. I'm going to delete this for now. Now my microphone is going to be activated, as you can hear in my speaker, until I deselect the audio track. I minimized here everything again so that I have a nice overview. Now to the second part of this video, how to map everything to the functions of your controller. This is actually the easiest part, guys. You basically right click on every knob that you want to control with your controller or keyboard like this, and you are going to want to edit remote override mapping. Now as you can see, this little tiny window open. It says learn from control surface input. You want to click this one, or maybe it is already clicked. Now whichever button I am going to click on my controller, it is going to learn it here and show up here. Let's go here to number 1 where our hi-hat is on. I want to now be able to use this mute button with my controller / keyboard. Right click, edit remote override mapping. Now I want to use this button here. So when I click on here, as you can see, it shows up here. Now that's all you gotta do. You click OK. And now if I use this button, as you can see, it's gonna mute this and unmute that. Mute it and unmute it. Now the same thing we wanna do with effects. So what we need here now is in between all of these instruments and the mixer, we need a effect. Now you wanna click on mixer, right click, I go on effects, I go on Reason devices, and I, for example, like using this digital reverb here. Boom, now it's in between the mixer and our instruments. As you see, this is going here into aux input 1. Here are our aux buttons, okay? All of these red ones here. As you see, it says aux here. As you see, reverb 1 comes out here. Now we wanna turn this one here all the way up on all of our channels, because we are just going to want to use this button here with our controller. Meaning, if I turn this up, it will show up on all of our tracks here, because this is our main button for this reverb right now. Again, right click, edit remote override mapping. For this example, I'm going to use this knob here. Now, as you can see, when I move my knob, this button here is moving. Now I'm going to play something real quick for the sake of this video so I can show you how to use this reverb. Okay, so I'm back. For the second effect I used the chorus / flanger. Now I laid down a simple beat here real quick, and I am now going to use these buttons here with my controller, and you can see what happens to the sound. Obviously, as you can see, you have to adjust all of these buttons here and the sounds on the effects the way you want it to. I'm also going to clear the remote override mapping right here so you can do this for yourself. Now, obviously, how you want to use and connect these buttons with your controller requires a little bit thinking. So you have to decide if you want to connect these buttons here of every single track to your controller / keyboard, or these buttons. I basically connected all of these buttons to all of these buttons, and these here that are not connected to my single tracks, as I said in the other video, to these buttons, and sometimes to these buttons here within the effects themselves. Again, this requires a little bit thinking, guys. You have to make these decisions. The last thing that I really suggest doing is go into this master section here, click on show insert effects, and click on this bypass button so it won't bypass them. Now guys, this is a whole mixing and mastering section here, okay? Now you have to tweak around here to make your live looping set sound the way you sound. If your drum samples don't have enough kick, you could up the lows here a little bit. Now obviously this requires a little bit knowledge on mixing. If you want to know how to use this whole section in general, let me know in the comments below. And that should be it, guys. I hope that was helpful. If so, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell, you know the drill. Click the links around the video for all the goods. I will leave you a link to my Dropbox so you can download this file at any time. Again, tweak it to your needs, your wishes. And as usual, much love to everyone. Stay focused, have a blessed now. Mwah.